and welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be making a sundial. It's going to be a memorial sundial, and I want to do two things with this video. The first half of the video is going to be me showing you how to make the video, or first 3/4 of the video is going to be me showing you how to make the sundial. I'm going to show you what tools you'll need. I'm going to put a lot of information on the screen of what cuts you need to make, what measurements everything needs to be, what stone you're going to need, and just how I go about it, show you the whole process. Then the second half of the video is going to be me installing it. So if you've bought one of these sundials from us or bought them from somebody who sells them on our behalf, then you're going to know how to install one. But the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to roughly cut out the piece of stone out of this witten fell, and I'm going to load it up onto the forklift, and I'm going to take it round, neaten it up on the tiger saw, and I'll start showing you the process. So they've all been roughed out. I like to rough them out like that with the saw, with the cordless saw, because when you're working on your own or you don't want to ask for help from anyone else if they're busy, I like to cut them into manageable sizes. So I'll rough them out around the corner, bring them round with the forklift. It's easier to lift them on and off the saw instead of lifting big sheets up onto the saw. I might use fractionally more stone over the year, but it's very little. So again, this is 50mm witten fell stone. It's already been cut to 50mm sheet. I buy it in that way. So I'm going to measure them up now, put the final measurements on, the final cuts. I'll put them all on the screen now in case you want to make one of these yourself, so you know what sizes to cut them at. And I'll run them through the saw, and we'll set them for one side and we'll move to the next stage. Now let's mark them up. So that's all the components cut now. You've just seen me take a piece out with the tile cutter. You'll understand why when we piece it together. So we can have a flush layer. So we're going to have a washer and a nut on the locating pin and the bar. So it kind of pulls it into the ground nicely as we tap it in, and it locates the centre column. So we can have everything flush so it all works together. But you'll understand that more as we put the whole sundial together. I've also cut the centre column. I'll put the measurements on the screen in case you want to make one yourself, so you can take note of them all. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to polish everything. So I've got my respirator on, polish everything, and then I'm going to put chamfer on it. So you'll see me put the chamfer on. I'll do a close-up of that so you can see me going around it, or I'll give you the measurements for the chamfer I use as well. Right, I'll put the mask down, put my headphones in, and we'll get polishing. So that's all hollowed out. I'm going to put the plug in the bottom now, so we've made a stone plug. We're going to place that in the bottom. I'm not going to drill the central hole on it until tomorrow, until the glue's gone off its set, just so I make sure it's bang on perfect in the middle. I'm actually going to wet this first. This Gorilla Glue I use, this clear Gorilla Glue, which I've tested on loads of stone, and I found it really, really good. Works better when it's wet. So I'm just going to wet this plug on the outside. It'll make a better bond in there as it recommends. So I'll just use a bit of the water out of the saw, put it round, and then we'll glue it in place. And then we'll leave that overnight, and then tomorrow this will be slightly proud, and then tomorrow we'll polish it all flat, and then I'll show you me assembling it. So that's the sundial all cut and polished and washed, ready for installation. You're going to need a couple of tools for this. You're going to need a mallet or a hammer, a spirit level, and a ruler or a tape measure. So the first thing you do is put your biggest stone down. For each stone I show you putting on, I'll put the measurements on the screen so you know which one you're installing at a time. So you're going to make sure this one's nice and level and nice and solid. Then you're going to take your next size piece. Like I say, I'll put them on the screen, the ones you need. Place that in so you're looking down the centre hole. And then the next one. This is the one with the countersunk top in. So you're going to get your bar next. And you're going to wind it so it's about 25-30 mil from the top. With the washer on, you're going to put it in and just wiggle it around until you know you've got it all central until it's in. And then tap it down. Make sure it's nice and solid. All the way, making sure all your points on the sides all line up together. Then the next stage is to take the centre column. This has got the hole in the bottom which we drilled a minute ago in the plug. Put that over the pin so that sits nicely. Again, making sure all your points meet with each other. So if you've ordered one of these and it's a memorial for your ashes, you get a tube. Inside here is all your instructions, what you'll need for placing in the centre. So this goes in here. So if this was a solid unit, what we sell without the ashes, this would have another centre pin to make it so you've got all this central straight away. But obviously we can't do that when we're doing it with the tube in the middle, hollowed out. So that's where your ruler comes in. So you're going to want to make sure you've got it lined up right. And then your next one on top. Again, take your ruler. I like to roughly just get it in the right place with my fingers so I roughly know where it is. And then at the end go round with the ruler, checking everything. And then we're going to put the sundial on top. These sundials I buy from a company online. I'll put a link in the description so you know where they come from. These are really good. The solid slate ones, they do a really good job of them in the company. Really nice. I have no problems. And inside here you'll get some instructions on how to set up your sundial for your location in your garden where the sun is at the time of day. If you struggle with that, Google and YouTube have loads of instructions. So then you're going to put your slate on top like this. This comes off so you can see, and that's on there. And when you're ordering one of these, it comes with a packet of Gorilla Glue. So once you've put this in place, I'd recommend leaving it in place for a few days so you know exactly where you want it. It's all set up nicely, and then you can glue all the components together so you know you've got it in the right place and it's perfect. And that's it. That's how we make a Whittenfell sundial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.